Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfalla.
And Ray Alfalla is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare two laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Hello and welcome to Apex Racing TV and coverage of Round 5 of the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 Virtual Racing School Super Series. We are here for 3 races tonight, 15 minutes in length in each, 2 reverse grids as well being featured, with a potentially very close championship as well after last week's break week. My name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me is Marco Barbier, who's also doing a sterling effort at covering the cameras as well, as we visit the very picturesque Red Bull Ring circuit, a track that has only been on the iRacing sim for under 3 months. It was only at the start of this iRacing season that it was finally added, but it should make for some good racing, I think, tonight, Marco, because this is one of the lowest downforce circuits we go to all season. Lots of slipstreaming available, and also plenty of hard braking zones as well, particularly into turn 2 and turn 3 for the drivers to make some moves.
Hello everyone, hello Sam. Yes, absolutely. Another one of those tracks that really grew on me since I started driving it in simulators. Of course it was part of the F1 calendar for a long time before being discontinued in the mid-2000s. And nice to have it back, because it really provides for some exciting racing every time, especially in sim. And I have to tell you, I've been many years ago in the year 1996 on vacation in this part of Austria. I didn't see the racetrack, especially because there was MotoGP that weekend, so even getting closer was not a good idea. But this part of Austria, and Austria in general, but this part, you are right, so picturesque, beautiful location, absolutely fantastic, and the peace and the quiet of the Austrian mountains are going to be interrupted for the next hour and a half by our lovely drivers. Speaking of which, we should have on the screen, Sam, the standings for this season.
Yes, and it's currently Kai Thiago Marte at the top there, 522 points. Drop score has not been applied yet, so those could change quite a little bit. We are heading into the second half of the season after this round. 4 meetings gone, 4 still to go, including tonight, so that might all change around a little bit. Olsen, who was challenging Marte quite a bit for a while, but dropped back in the last round. He's just ahead of Kittel Larsen. Mats Gestrom Bakken there in 4th place, then it's Beer and Co. Justin Negretti up there in 6th position in the overall standings. You can see by that 266, he's actually an amateur driver, but he's only just ahead of Christian Glamsetter and Philip Brussel in that amateur championship, so it could be close in that one. So really battles going on all the way down the order. There they are, Helgerud and Boberg rounding out the top 5. Boberg still in the running, actually, despite having, at least from my perspective, a pretty rubbish season for a very competitive driver. Is Boberg. Was very quick towards the end of last season. He is still very much in the mix there, only 60 points the difference. And like I said, a drop score will apply to one of the drivers, each of the driver will have one of their scores dropped, and so that could jiggle things around a little bit after this race. Currently, Stephen Westerhoff, who was only a mid-season entry, joined for Montreal and made quite an impression. He managed to win his first race in the series. He also took part last season, but he he took a bit of a break, came back at Montreal, was very strong. Wasn't so strong last time out, but he's currently on pole position. But we've still got Kai Thiago Marte on laps, and still plenty of other drivers on laps, and with quite a short circuit as well, they can set plenty of attempts. And as I say every single week, and I've also got used to saying it as well in the Norwegian Sector League and the Radical Racing Challenge, the times just get quicker and quicker in this series, Marco, and those times currently at the top there will probably not be good enough for the pole position, because the cars just, as they burn off those fuels, they get the tyres into working order, they find a few more tenths.
Absolutely right, and it is a characteristic of these cars that they tend to go and quicker and quicker. The drivers don't really get much of an advantage by stopping for tires or maybe by doing shorter runs. Nice to have Alex Fournier, who's been giving a great account of himself in IGP Fan. That's on Sundays, by the way, here on Apex Racing TV, and same calendar basically as this one. So if you want your F3 action tomorrow at 20:25 GMT, you can follow that. I'm so happy that we are inching closer and closer to the switch to winter time, so we don't have to do all these mental gymnastics with the BST, GMT and CEST, etc. I mean, it's only 1 hour, but it makes a lot of difference. And 2 minutes left in qualifying, so let's see if the drivers can find an improvement. This part of the track where Fournier is right now, by the way, I think it is the one of the top 3 most treacherous parts of the track in iRacing, together with the Ascari chicane at Monza. And there is another place I don't remember, but so slippery, so easy to lose the car, especially, Sam, in the beginning of the lap. So I'm talking about sorry, turn 5, turn 6, very easy to lose your car especially in the beginning of the race.
No losing the car for Kai Thiago Marte. He goes to the top with Westerhoff in the pits. Marte goes to the top, but I don't think he's got enough time to complete this lap, and I think getting a little bit held up behind the 296 isn't going to help either. Larsen and Olsen in 4th and 5th. Olsen probably not particularly delighted with that one. Multiple race winners so far this season. Gestrom Bakken only in 11th place. Glamsetter improves to 12th, but he's still behind Aaron Smith, who is top of the amateur drivers at the moment. And who can still set a good lap time? Well, in fact, pretty much all the drivers are at the start of the lap. Florian Beer, what can he do? He's now crossing the line, currently in 13th position. That may be an out lap, in fact, so I don't think there's really going to be many more improvements, at least not from the top drivers. It looks as though Kai Thiago Marte is going to be able to snatch up another pole position. in front of his fellow countryman. Let's see if Boberg can improve at all. He gets a little bit of a draft right at the end of the lap and just about pulls himself ahead of Malishev, who made a good account of himself on his debut last time out. 3 sprint races tonight, Marco, so potentially some lap 1 incidents if the drivers aren't careful. How do you expect the first couple of corners to be around this specific circuit, which we haven't visited a whole lot, let's alone in single seaters?
Yeah, there's going to be tough. We always know that the first corner in real life and also in sim racing here in Red Bull Ring can be very tricky. The drivers can use a lot of the runoff area there on the left side if to avoid accidents. But then, of course, you have the long straight immediately and another hard braking area for the 90-degree corner of turn 2. So certainly not the easiest of first laps. Drivers could be enticed to make moves. And you were saying it right, with 3 50-minute races, they want to make those moves nice and early if possible. And here we go with the starting grid for tonight, race 1.
Yeah, Marte at the top championship leader, remember, for Team Shazzy. That is a great qualifying for him once again, ahead of Steven Westerhoff. Nicholas Rasmussen with a good qualifying, actually, because Nicholas has been struggling in qualifying so far this season, so he could really do something from that position up there in third. Then Kessel Larsen, Tobias Olsen, and Alex Fournier in his debut. Then it's Isaacson, Pennington also in his debut, Zuayen, and Smith, who's top of the amateur drivers. Then it's Mats Gestenback and Christian Glamsetter in 12th. Florian Beer in 13th, then it's championship leader in the AMS, Justin Negretti, I think with his worst qualifying of the season. Then it's Chuck Mauro, Philip Russell, Alexander Scaret, Richard Boberg, Kostas Malishev, Sean Barnett, Andrew Morris, Aidan Had, Ingo Schnell, Andreas Helgerud, Nicholas Riley, and Alex Roggenbach. Kimbrali Charney, I think, is the one driver who starts in from the pits for this fantastic field of drivers. 27 cars, I think the biggest field we've had. We had a break week last time out. We've had 4 new drivers join the series. It's really cool to see, especially seeing that, well, in a few of our other series, some drivers haven't fancied like racing in the summer, but this one absolutely thriving, and we should be in for 3 15-minute races. There was brilliant action at Phillip Island, which we last had. Let's see if the same happens here. Now, Westerhoff actually has a pit lane start to serve, so there is going to be a vacant second place on the grid here, and that could allow perhaps Larsen to have a better run heading into turn 1. But Marteau then for race 1 from the pole position, we are racing at the Red Bull Ring, and it is a very good start for Larsen, and he's going to be able to challenge Rasmussen heading down into turn 1. Rasmussen on the outside, going to take a better line, I think, and just about manages to pull ahead. Just on the outside behind was Olsen, also managing to get up to 3rd place. That's a great start for the Swede right there. Isaacson with a decent start as well. Boberg as well, much further down, having a good launch. But Marteau 9/10 to a second clear of the rest of the drivers. I'm sure the 2 teammates won't battle too much with each other, just behind the 146 of Larsen, running wide as he battles with his teammate of Isaacson heading into turn 2 there. But Marteau with that break away straight away, trying to break the drought to the 2 Alcantech drivers.
Bit of drama at the back, but everything seems to be okay as they head into the second trouble zone of the first lap, as we were saying, as Fournier there moves on the outside of one of the IGL coating cars. Seems like everything is nice and smooth. Of course, the grip, or lack thereof, the biggest enemy of these drivers in this part of the track, but everyone seems to be able to navigate there safely, and the first lap is about to be in the books with Thiago Marteau leading in front of the Alcantech NHR duo of Rasmussen and Olsen.
Yeah, Rasmussen trying to stay close, but if this season is anything to judge by, Tobias Olsen tends to be the faster driver. So I wonder if they will make that switch. Also seemingly picking up a bit of turbulent air through the final corner. Just in the background, Smith trying to get past Pennington. A couple of fantastic liveries. At least I've got like a Cajun livery at the moment on Pennington's car. And his debut in the season just about manages to keep behind Gestenback. And actually that's a brilliant run through that corner. So he's going to be able to challenge the amateur race leader. And Smith heading into turn 2. The other drivers really getting away. Remember, it's a 6-car burst grid for the next one, as that is a slowdown, I think, for Smith. You can pick up a slowdown at the final corner, and that seemed like a very sudden stop there for Smith. He served it very late, and he's down into 10th position.
Absolutely, drivers now trying to get into sort of a single file formation, as Florian Beer is trying to go on the inside. of Smith, but good defending from Smith as Glamsetter gets passed by Negrete, getting pushed a bit wide. There is the Norwegian driver. The front 1 second, as we have highlighted your top 6 drivers for this race, and as Sam was saying a few seconds ago, they will be reversed for race 2, this top 6. So temporary pole position is this guy here, Alex Fournier. Not this guy here, Alex Fournier. And of course you can see the drivers who's using a bit of the tarmac there run off. Sam, as we all know now very well, this is allowed in this racetrack. It has, together with Spa, some special dispensations given to the drivers for using the extra runoff area in some places.
Yeah, measure it not by the center of the car, which is usually how it's measured, but by the 4 wheels of the circuit. And yeah, they're a bit more generous as well. You can use quite a bit of the run-up, but if you go beyond that, apparently the slowdown is absolutely vicious. So keep an eye out for that one, as Smith is trying to come back now against Gestrian back, and Pennington's been able to drive away from those drivers, as the 2 teammates there of Boberg and Glamset are managing to make very good progress past a couple of drivers. I was very close to contact. Olsen has had a problem. Olsen, has he hit the wall? No, he's going to be able to stay out of the wall. He's thinking, well, what's the best way to get back onto the track? That is the best way to get back on track in the end. Now, he was losing a little bit of time to his teammate just ahead, and you can see, if anything, dropping into the clutches of Kjetil Larsen heading into turn 3, and then well, I mean, that was really weird, Mark. I mean, he was so wide there.
Yes, not a mistake I'm expecting from a driver like Tobias Olsson. He's now down to 8, so now I think the first objective for him has to be a reverse pole position. So he's two positions in front of him, not very close, but as you can see, it is doable with a little more than 10 minutes left in race 1. So it can be done, but a big mistake, of course, and this opens the gap between second and third now. 1.5 seconds between Rasmussen and Larsen. Isaksen in front of Fournier, and Georgi Zwin now, of course, the new reverse pole sitter for the time being.
Isaksen having to go defensive there. This is not what these guys need. They need to work together to keep Pennington. He's got some handy pace underneath him, does Pennington, and Olsen as well will be catching up if they fight too much. Now they are all from different teams. As here we go, that is the overtake and contact between the 2 of them, and that will certainly help Olsen significantly. And off the circuit goes Fournier right there, and now they're trying to get past Pennington, trying to go the other way of the slow driving team. Shazoo driver who tries to come back now, but another slide for Fournier, and he might drop another position to Gestrian Bakken this time. So dreadful corner there for Fournier. It was a dive heading to turn 3. I kind of just looked away as he tried to do it there, Marco, but yeah, wasn't worth the risk. They were in the reverse grid places.
Yes, that was a bit of a mistake there, and thankfully it didn't really cost the other driver too much, even though it could have been a lot worse, this contact for all of them. I was saying about Olsen and the reverse grid not going to be easy. Well, he's already there, so now he can certainly look forward and maybe try to get back into the top 3, maybe top 4 is doable, especially because Zwin and Isaksen are going hard at it on the backstretch.
Well, they're fighting for this position on the last lap, and they're fighting for it more here, and Zuayen running a little bit wide there, as also the teammates, I think, of Glamsetzer and Boberg just switching around. Crips Racing, which is very difficult to pronounce. I want to say Crisps, but no, it's Crips Racing. As all contacts, and that's going to be front wing damage as well. That could really hurt you around a circuit like this with the long straights. These guys are absolutely holding back nothing. Bunch of savages, I'm sure you'd say, Arco, and Isaacson now in damage.
Oh man, great fight. We saw a glimpse of that between Smith and Negrete. They passed each other a couple of times. Now it's Smith back at in front of the amateur class, but as you can see, Negrete is there, and Boberg also not that far away, as once again Zwin and Isaksen tackle tackling the final corner and back onto the start-finish line once again. Marteau 25.045. This is the fastest lap of the race so far. He's pulling away 1.4 seconds the gap there at the front, as once again here we go with the IGL Coatings car. Now has to look in the back because of course Tobias Olsson doesn't need any kind of invitation. He wants to get back into the top 5. And here we go once again. Isaacson lining up the move, pulling onto the inside, and can he make it stick? I think he can.
Yeah, so maybe that direction not affecting him as much as I thought. He's now got to defend hard though into turn 3, which is not an easy place to defend because it's such a wide part of the track. We saw plenty of controversy in the Austrian Grand Prix around this specific corner, but these F3 cars are a little bit more narrow, and so not quite the concern of running the other driver off the circuit like we saw on that day. Also saw some problems around this one as well. No such problems for Tobias Olsson. He is round past Zuayen, and he's just got one more to go, and that will pretty much be the end of his race, as Rikard Boberg, almost the end of his race right there, was running in 13th place, making some good progress with his teammate Glamsetter just before that, but unfortunately that off very much in the vein of Olsson there, losing him plenty of places outside the top 20.
On board with Isaacson, still looking back towards Olsson. He's got his teammate Larsen in front of him, but as you were saying, the gap very big right now, so don't think any of these riders can realistically challenge for the podium, especially because these, as you were saying earlier, Sam, very short and sweet races, only 15 minutes. We're already 9 minutes into this first one, as the Marshall there standing dangerously behind that low barrier. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I hope you have the Marshalls, you know. I know it's not the potato machine era anymore for you, Sam, but I'm always concerned when I make these remarks.
Well, unfortunately, Marco, I couldn't see the Marshall because for this series, I've had some problems on the race starts being able to with my PC stuttering. So unfortunately, I couldn't see the Marshall there. But I think I know the one that you're talking about, and yeah, if I made a GP race last season, showed us anything. That's quite a dangerous place on the circuit. Defending brilliantly there is Niels Erik Isaacson. Apologies. And Olsson is clearly faster. We know that Niels has got to have damage. I mean, we saw the deformation of the front wing just before, but yeah, the Swedish driver just cannot get past at the moment. They race through the penultimate corner, Niki Lauda curve, I believe. And then onto the French stretch once again. These guys over 8 seconds off the lead, losing considerable amounts of time every single lap, and it's an opportunity here for Olsson. So when it's a corner that you see a whole lot of moves done, because the drivers tend to just wait till the next section, but I think Olsson's trying to get it done whilst he can. That is the disadvantage though, you don't get the run out to the corner, and Isaacson is going to try to pull alongside Zuayen with surely the potential to gain at least one position here if he wants to. He might even make it 3 wide heading into turn 2, thinks better of it. A good line there from Olsson to keep up into 4th position, and that should be enough now to defeat Isaacson and finish in that 4th position after his off earlier on. Just in the background, Pennington and also Gestrian back in, as I think actually is Olsson under pressure again from Isaacson, or hasn't been able to hold on to it. He's just about being able to hold on to it. So Olsson, yeah, making shot on that one. Gestrian back in though, still tries this move on
mistake for Negretti.
Oh dear, and that is second. Well, he's still second place out of the end, but he's lost a place to Beer as well.
Let's see how it transferred. They were battling on the front stretch at the beginning of this lap, so. But this once again seems to be an unforced error. You know, Sam, in a certain way, this braking area reminds me of the braking area of Rivazza 1 at Imola, because you're braking downhill and you don't really, you know, you always think you can make it, you know, and then you can't, of course, because okay, you know, it's downhill, so the car will stop, but you have so much more speed than if it was flat. So when you go and brake there, plus when you go wide, being a grass or gravel runoff, of course, the moment you touch the grass there or the gravel, you are gone. So not surprised to see many mistakes there. 12 minutes on the clock. We are lapping in the 124s point. 124s for Marteau, 125 for everyone else, as Strumbacken goes a bit wide, but completes the pass regardless. And is up into 8th place. So the only driver in the 24s right now seems to be Marteau in 1st place. Another great performance. And you're right, this is a Caterham-inspired livery. For very, very beautiful for Luke Pennington.
Oh, that was strong defence there from Strumbacken. Pennington to go onto the grass there. And Smith catching back up to these drivers again. But yeah, as a Norfolk person, we don't have too much to be proud of, but Caterham is something to be proud of. They are technically Malaysian now, I believe, but I think they've still got some operations in Norfolk. So no, big fan of the livery. Also, of course, Norwich City, the sponsor, yellow and green.
Well, isn't Lotus now sponsoring the club? No, their branch of Lotus, I think, the one owned by Caterham.
I think you might be right. Yeah. So yeah, big support as here comes Smith around the outside of Pennington. He's still got a slight draft here from Strumbacken. And Smith still in the lead of the amateurs, but remember, you get points for your overall position, not for your position in class. So if Smith could gain a place or two more, that would be more points for him in the championship. Probably 2 points for each position from that place on the circuit. Glamsetter and Russell, 2 of the front runners, 2nd and 3rd place in fact in the amateur championship at the moment. And they are battling very hard at the moment. Going to lose out to championship leader Negretti, it seems like, but that is Russell now ahead of Glamsetter, and he was half-second fast on that last lap as well as Russell, so he should be able to start pulling away now.
Our leader should be getting the white flag this time by. There is. Thiago Marteau gets the white flag of race 1. In race 1, of course, for the whole season it has been very much like last season for him, but now with the new format that we have with guaranteed reverses, either in the 2 or the 3 race format, compared to last year, when we had the 2 race format, which was more prevalent, the finishing order of race 1 was the starting order of race 2. Things are a bit more difficult, and even for a quick driver like him, not easy to make your way from the back, as we have George Zwin being pressured by Fournier. This is for reverse pole position. On the outside goes the Canadian. Good defense from the other Canadian. Bad moment to bring up the nationalities. But yeah, he's going for it. Fournier wants the reverse pole.
For sure. And yeah, it might be new to this race, but I imagine he has read the rules and knows what's at stake here. And that was very good defense there from Zuayin, just stopping it on the apex. And from here on in, it's tricky to overtake. Tell that to Fournier, who's trying to come back. Wow, that was close, and for 2 drivers based in Canada can have a decently sized ping. That was very risky from the netco. But out in the lead, it's going to be another race win for the championship leader, for the defending champion, Thiago Marteau. He takes race 1 at Red Bull Ring. Excellent performance. Who is going to get reverse grid? Oh, he's trying around the outside. Here's Fournier. He's off the track. He shouldn't pick up a slowdown from that region out. He's trying to come back still, but I don't think it's going to quite be enough. Great driving from Zuayin to hold on to 6th position and reverse grid pole. I wonder if that might be the ignition of a little bit of a rivalry between the 2 countrymen. Smith wins in the amateur category. Good 10th position for him. Gets a few cars between himself and Negretti behind. Westerhoff on the pit lane, managing to get back into 12th position. And here is Scorette as well, just crossing the line in 20th position. But yeah, great work there from Marteau. Marco, that was as easy as you like, and certainly a performance we've got used to from Thiago Marteau.
Great victory for Marteau, and he has no time basically to celebrate, because the moment the last car comes home, we are basically starting the gridding procedure for race 2. We'll have just a second to go through the results, and then it will be time to get on the grid. Just waiting for the final couple of drivers. We should be seeing them from the blimp view. There they are. A couple of them were right in front of Marteau at the beginning of the last lap for the leader, so basically they have to finish Another full lap, waiting for Andreas Elgerud, and then we should have the results.
Yeah, I'll just take this opportunity as well to give a shout out to Apex Racing Academy, who are one of the title sponsors for this series. Apex Racing Academy with over 29 data packs, those data packs including setups, track guides, it's integrated with VRS, and also weekly group coaching sessions, and a whole lot more as well available at the Apex Racing Academy. So big thanks to them for sponsoring the series. There's some fantastic F3 setups available, designed by World Championship driver Peter Bayman, terrific single-seater racer, and yeah, if you want to improve in the F3 car, he is certainly the man to go to. Apex Racing Academy is the service to subscribe to, so do visit apexracingac.com for more details on that. That is the starting order. It's the same order, but the top 6 are inverted. So we've got Zoyan on pole, Marteau down in 6th position, and you see those top 12 now illuminate. 12th position gets reverse grid pole for race 3. Let's see if Marteau can get to the front once again here. As the lights are igniting this circuit. And it's a jump start, I think, for Isaacson. He went super early, seemingly. Also the 171 of Rasmussen with a dreadful start. So all over the place with a couple of the front runners. But Isaacson, I am almost certain, will have to serve a stop-go penalty there for that overzealous start. Zuayin then effectively in the lead. We've got a spinner just in the background there, a little bit of contact with Chuck Marriott and Andrew Morris, I believe, getting involved in a collision. Does anything happen down to turn 2? Isaacson running a little bit wide. I think that's just him taking the wide turn in. Olsen already up to 3rd position, so nice start there. In fact, he's just stayed in that position. As we've got more issues here, that's Pennington after a good race 1, trying to reverse away, but I think he's making contact with more drivers here if he's not careful. Maybe that was just the curb, to be fair. But also Manishev gets involved. I think Helgerud had a pretty rubbish start, and of course Pennington and Marrow as well, as Isaacson still leading the way, but surely with a stop-go to serve.
We'll know soon enough. Three laps to serve the penalty, of course. Let's focus on him as Marteau and Larsen are going hard at it. Ooh, bit wide there for Marteau, and he should be able to survive. Where is our leader? Stays on the track. Ah, no, it's the next corner. No, he's pitting. He's pitting. And gotta be careful not getting an unsafe pit entrance. So the Canadian George Wine is your new leader at the end of a chaotic lap 1. Olson 2nd, Marteau in 3rd, Larsen 4th, Fournier is 5th. Reverse pole is for Justin Negrete for the time being, but this is going to be a long 15 minutes for these drivers.
So, yeah, very chaotic so far. So lots of spread as well. The top 10 separated by over 6 seconds after just a single lap. So, yeah, plenty of divide already. Marteau at the front of this train. Still got Larsen fairly close. Larsen might have the pace to keep with Marteau in the draft. Not the biggest draft effect in these cars, and I guess with the skinnier rear wing, that will become even smaller once again. I imagine still a slight advantage as Beer is having to get past Russell at the moment. Beer with a poor qualifying actually for race 1. Oh no, contact, and that's Russell round, and also having to run wide. I think, was that Negrete who made contact?
It seems certainly, because Glamsetter got an orange car, so I think it was Negrete, but I might be wrong. It was a bit of a chaotic moment. I'll tell you what, let's risk and go to the replay. Now expect the apocalypse to happen on the racetrack.
Yeah, of course.
It was the great team, yep.
Yeah, so championship leader, and that, well, we'll see what the stewards think. I imagine Russell will protest that one. Of course, in all of Apex Racing League series, post-race stewards investigate incidents. Also any incidents as well that happen on that one. Of course, the stewards can give a range of penalties, point penalties, also pit lane starts as well for the drivers come the next race. So anything like that is always scrutinised, of course. And of course, if you go to apexracingleague.com, you can see all the other series that Apex Racing League offer. We've got Formula V's on a Monday, we've got GT3s on a Tuesday, Radical series starting next Wednesday. Particularly excited about that one. NASCAR Thursdays, Super Truck Fridays, F3 Saturdays, and GTE Sundays. So go visit apexracingleague.com to get yourself signed up to any of those series. If we may say it ourselves, some of the best leagues, of course, in iRacing, and of course all broadcasts as well on Apex Racing TV. Olsen is very close to Zuayan, and after a very disappointing race 1 for Olsen, he can see a race win coming his way here, and he needs to get on with it, otherwise Matteo will be onto them within a couple of laps.
Yes, a lot has happened, but only 4 minutes have gone past in this second race out of 3 for tonight. Start finish straight once again for our leaders, Zwain, Olson, Marteau, your top 3, but wow, identical lap times for Marteau and Larsen, but now Westerhoff beats them with a 25.463. That's the fastest lap of the race. Here comes Olson, he could go for a move here.
Yeah, defending a little bit there, Zuayin, but the track's too wide and he's going for a slightly late move there. Olsen, I imagine, will be doing lots of hand gestures at the moment. That was high-speed action, and Zuayin keeps the lead. But that was fairly marginal. It was unclear which way Olsen was going to go, and Zuayin kind of just edged out to the side of the circuit. It's a wide circuit, and they couldn't fit 2 F3 cars on that. And if Olsen was desperate to get past beforehand, he will be really desperate to get past now. And Marteau now right on the tail of these 2 drivers. Here comes the inside line now for Olsen. This is a risky part of the circuit to go for it, but he feels like the need to go for it now. They can run side by side through this next chicane. Super risky stuff. Amazing battling for the race lead in this race 2 of the evening of meeting 5 of the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 series. And still Olsen with his nose ahead. This could work out for him. You remember how wide you can go out without picking up a slowdown, and he's trying to make it work at the moment. He's marginally ahead, but now just moving ahead again is Zuayin. Olsen trying to get back onto circuit, and they're still alongside. And look at Larsen get involved, and Westerhoff, who started down in 12th position, is also going to be fighting for the lead. Marteau can't do anything, and Larsen might even go up to 2nd position here. Also Westerhoff trying to make an impression. Wide goes Zuayin. He managed to cover it all off, but he couldn't get it stopped into turn 1, and after all of that, Olsen takes the lead. Some kind of absolutely obliterated right there. Zuayin trying to cover off, trying to come back up the inside. Olsen covering off. It's Marteau now alongside into 2nd position, and that's not a good exit whatsoever for Olsen. And Marteau might be able to take the lead heading into turn 3. Even Rasmussen is now with these guys. He's getting about 3 seconds in a lap and a half. Marteau moving his way into the lead, but also will not give this up whatsoever. He will do everything to keep his main championship rival behind him if he possibly can, and that is good defensive driving there from Olsen. He'll cover off the corner into the middle sector, and still Marteau is not giving up. Part of his car alongside, contact between the 2 of them, and both Olsen and Westerhoff out of the race into the wall. Westerhoff should be able to continue, but Olsen will have a lot of damage on that car, just the tiniest of taps, and after a lap and a half of absolutely epic racing, that was an unfortunate climax.
Oh, too bad, because it was a fantastic fight. Oh,
Westerhoff was unlucky there.
In the meantime, Negretti gets past Glamsetter. No, he got past Westerhoff, who was pitting, but the fight for the lead is not over. Seems like Marteau's car is okay. Fournier with a problem. He's in the grass. So let's focus on what we have left here, which is 4 cars fighting for the lead of the overall race in the amateur class. As you can see on the left side of your screen, it's Negretti from Glamsetter, Boberg in 3rd. They are very close, but not as close as these guys right here. And now a little bit of separation between the first 2 and the 3rd and the 4th driver. Larsen, Rasmussen with Marteau and Zwain 1st and 2nd. Reverse pole, as you can see right now, is Kostas Marishev. We have 6 pro drivers and 6 amateur drivers in a row. That is quite sad. Oh no, I ruined it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? Fournier on his comeback trail. Yeah, that spin seemed to lose him bunch of time, but well, he's 18 seconds off the lead, still running in that 12th place, and yeah, at the moment, reverse grid pole. Off goes Rasmussen. Oh, he was doing so well. I was just about to say how well Rasmussen has driven tonight. Really good to see him have a return to form, but unfortunately, a mistake into the final corner. Has he dipped a wheel onto, well, you kind of got a curb there, so yeah, the curb maybe just unsets in the car a little bit, and of course very little downforce these drivers are running. Rear end losing grip, and Rasmussen not too bad for him. He only drops down to 8th place, such as the spread, but yeah, not great news for him. Fournier up past Russell now. Yeah, so that is now 2nd place on the reverse grid. Going the Canadians' way at the moment. He's got Howard left to catch up. I think anything beyond that will be too tricky. Rasmussen, I think, just making back a place on Boberg, or maybe defending against Boberg for 8th.
And you know, I know, you know, Niklas from a long time ago, racing his own leagues with the Skip Barber, and of course commentating on his racing all over the series in iRacing Open Wheelers. He's very hard on himself, so I'm very sad that he made this mistake. Still has time to make a bit of a comeback with 5 minutes left, and looking so far at a decent starting position for S3, but I'm sure he wanted the podium at the front of the field. Marteau, 1.5 seconds, the lead over George Zwijn and Kjetil Larsen. Your top 3 with Gjestrumbakken in 4th position. Of course, Sam, you missed the Norwegian pronunciation masterclass we got from Simen Brunstad last week. So I've learned that it's Gjestrumbakken.
Okay.
So the G is like in Django Unchained, you know, the D silent, more or less.
I haven't seen the movie, but I do know the title.
Me neither.
So that I do need to watch it. But you know, thanks for that. I'm getting that wrong. Plenty of commentary, such as the amount of races that Gjestrumbakken races in. Valley Shev down to 14th now. He's just been overtaken by Isaacson, but that's no, you know, bad driving or anything. So Isaacson might get a reverse good pole here, which would be awesome news for the IGL Coatings e-racing driver. 12th place equals pole, and yeah, that would be a fairly easy race 3 win, I think, for him. Of course, Fournier will also be starting near the front. Rasmussen as well, probably on the 3rd or 4th row of the grid, running in 8th position, but of course you want to get as far up as you possibly can. It's a fairly steep point scoring system in this race, so the top 5 positions or so, there are some very good points to be had, so don't expect any of the drivers to be holding back. They'll be going for absolutely everything that they can possibly snatch up. Larsen closing in on Zuayen at the moment, so Larsen with a good bit of form actually, because he was struggling a little bit earlier on in this race, but he's really catching up strongly now, and Zuayen could be a bit of a sitting duck here. Now Zuayen again, that's a little bit of a late change of direction to cover off the move. Larsen this time almost anticipating his defensive maneuver there, and just going out the alternative way. Now you get a long slipstream once again, and again for Zuayen is trying absolutely everything to keep his rival behind. And Larsen just getting the cutbacks into all of these corners, has to slow up a bit on the apex and remains in 3rd.
Let's see if he goes for a move here, the Norwegian driver. He doesn't in the meantime. Maybe you can catch it from the timing tower. There's been a bit of back and forth for 12th place, which now belongs to Isaacson, but as you can see, Philip Russell is not very happy with that, and he's trying all he can to get back into the reverse pole, but back to the fight for 2nd.
Yeah, back. Close driving and almost understeering. There was Larsen into the side of Zuayen. We've got 2 more laps to go. In 2 more laps to go in this race 2 of the evening. Also give a quick shout out to SDK Gaming for also sponsoring this broadcast, and of course providing our amazing overlay that you can see up on the screen. SDK Gaming adding a live HUD to iRacing, also of course timing towers, enhanced relative boxes, mini maps, fuel calculators and more. It's fantastic as a heads up display. It gives you all of that information. Here comes Larsen once again, just really going for the overtake that time. You can also stream to Twitch with the most comprehensive overlay in iRacing, broadcasting league and series. SDK syncs up your commentators with your broadcasters, so whatever the master overlay decides to show, everyone else can show it behind that. So we've got our car. Who's that going to there, Mark?
It was Andrew Morris. I thought there was a collision because at the same time both him and Olson jumped to the pits. But no, this was just a random event that happened at the same time. What is clearly not random is our race leader looking to make it 2 out of 2. And if the results hold, of course, he's going to have an extra level of difficulty because he will have to do it again, but starting from twice as back as he was in race 1. Of course, P12, the starting position. Now, of course, we cannot count our chicken just yet because, you know, he might celebrate and drive backwards before everyone is home safe and sound.
Give it a rest. I want a race, alright? I'm championship leader. I've pretty much won the championship already, so doing me. Isaacson passed Howard. So I get on a lighter note. Howard needs to hold off Manichev to get pole position or race 3. Also just seeing Russell drop down the order, which is quite significant for the Amateur Championship. Russell seemingly out of this race. I think he'll score points. He's not too many laps down, but yeah, he's actually just, yeah, I think he take back to the pits, unfortunately, about 2/3 of the way around the lap. Rasmussen is trying to get past Glamset, so this is the last tour of the lap. He's running out of overtaking spots to do it, so Rasmussen may have to settle for 8th position. Out in the lead, heading into the final couple of corners at the moment, is Kai Thiago Mato, who of course had a 60-point lead in the championship heading into this round. It is getting bigger and bigger in the middle part of the season. Kai Thiago Mato wins once again race 2, joins his collective of race 1 as Glam sets it off the track. Now he needs to get it back going to get that reverse grip off he possibly can. Across the line goes Boberg in, apologies, Negretti, top of the outer drives. Great drive there from Justin Negretti. Rasmussen in 7th. Glamsetzer will cross the line. Will he beat Fournier right to the line? I think he just about has it. Yeah, so Glamsetzer finishes in 9th. Fournier in 10th. And Malishev will get the reverse grip pole. So who dropped down on that last lap, Marco? Because Malishev wasn't in that reverse grid with a lap to go, I think. Howard, what happened to Howard? Howard was in 12th at the start of the lap.
That is a very good question. I saw he got passed by Malishev in the end towards the end of the lap. He's still dropping, but I don't see him having made a mistake in the overlay. So fuel. Yes, that car clearly. Okay, and we will never know. But it sounded like he was running out of fuel. Anyway,
yeah, well, he was short shifting, which doesn't actually save you any fuel, but people think it saves you fuel.
So that was it for race 2. I think, Sam, we have a special message from one of our sponsors.
We do, so we'll leave you with that for just a moment whilst the drivers are cooling down and warming up for race 3, but we'll be back with you in just a moment on Apex Racing TV. Welcome back to the Apex Racing Academy Formula 3 Virtual Racing School Super Series from the Red Bull Ring. Once again, my name is Sam Fitzpatrick. Once again, alongside me is Marco Barbonet. Thanks to SDK Gaming, that was the trailer that you just saw, providing our amazing overlay. So much customization you can do with it, so many different templates as well. Super easy to use, and yeah, just absolutely the software you need for a good heads-up display and for broadcasting and for streaming as well. On iRacing, we are just preparing for race 3 of the evening. By the way, quick shout out to a few of the people in the chat, some supporters of various drivers. Seems like there's a few Zambians in the chat, so give some love to Kumbrali Chani out there, who did pretty well in that race actually, did Kumbrali up there in 13th position. So yeah, great to have you guys along. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. There was Marto though winning out 5 seconds clear of Zurayen, Larsen, Gestrian Bakken and Beer actually under the radar, managing to get up to 5th place. Negretti, Boberg and Glamsetter, the top 3 in the amateurs. When I look at that starts order, of course top 12 inverted for race 3, Marco, Isaacson and Fournier are surely going to be a two-way battle for this one. Is it realistic that Marte could come back, or any of the others from the front of race 3 could come back? Because those two drivers, Isaacson and Fournier, are quality drivers up there.
For Marteau, the chips need to fall the right way. He needs to have a little bit of help, I think, in the beginning of the race. This is also something that works both ways, because if there is a bit of drama in front of you, you can also very easily be involved in it. So so I think that with the right set of circumstances, he could have a say in the podium. The victory is difficult, but you know, he is so quick. We have seen it, as you can see, the slippery tarmac there. Turn 5, making claiming some drivers. Man, I've spun there even with the Formula V, so I know it's very slippery. Oh yeah, of course. I said this beat the Ascari chicane in Monza and the last corner of the boot section at the Glen when you go back to the short track. These are, I think, the 3 most slippery places in all of iRacing, or the surface of the earth. So, as the birds chirp in the distance, lucky them, we have the starting grid for race 3. There it is.
Yeah, there is a match of Hedgehog in the Fog is his team.
What a name.
One of the best names that we have. I don't know what the meaning for that is. Yeah, I guess maybe you drive over hedgehogs in the fog, perhaps? I'm thinking maybe that's the case. Maybe he had a bad experience that cost us. Maybe he is a hedgehog and he's had members of his family run over. Who knows? Most likely not. But there's the order. Olsen starting from 27th. Hopefully we see Olsen on the grid actually. I'm not sure if we are though, because he's not... Oh, he has popped on. Great work there. And, well, this is fun. I mean, heck, we could run the whole race just on his onboard. It'd be fun if he gets through the first few corners cleanly. Manishev then on pole position. Everyone is on the grid with time to spare. Watch out for Isaacson and Fournier, the top 2 pros, going to be the 2 favourites for this race, where Manishev not with a great start, and immediately Isaacson's trying to get past. Westerhoff into the wall, onto the inside, but fortunately hasn't bounced back onto the circuit. Isaacson leads the way after one corner, past Manishev straight away. There's chaos going on in the background. Smith was one of the drivers involved, and plenty of others. Gestrian Bakken, Pennington once again involved in a first lap incident, and Charney also getting caught up. Fournier up into 2nd position straight away, so we are going to have that duel that we really want to see for that race win. It seems like although Manishev is trying to come back straight away. Great start for Aidan Howard. He's up 8 places from 20th on the grid. He's up into 12th position now. So epic work there from the Brit, up all those positions. As here comes Fournier back up the inside. There's no resisting for Manishev, I think, here, and Fournier does make that mistake and now can chase after the race leader.
Florian Beer with an issue. I don't know if he hit the wall or just went into the grass there. Seems to be able to continue. Marteau up to 8th after the first half of the lap, but Isaacson in the lead in front of Fournier. Paul Sitter Marishev is in 3rd, but he leads the amateur class in front of Christian Glamsetter and Richard Bobber, the 2 teammates for Crips Racing, which I will say since they stopped being sponsored by Austin Knight, they got the pace back that they lost. You know, after, you know, they started being sponsored by Austin last iRacing season and it went bad. But this season they are back 3 wide. Oh dear! Oh man, the banner there. I thought they were going to make contact behind the banner. They survive somehow. Here comes Marteau. Here comes Rasmussen. Very chaotic moment. Thankfully, cooler heads have prevailed.
Yeah, that was super close, wasn't it? And Marteau right with those drivers. Maisha is going to drop behind Glamsetter, I think, heading into turn 2 right here. Maisha doing enough. His Crips Racing driver teammate also batsing away, of course. And still Glamsetter actually with the inside line here, so this should be a bit more possible. It's time for the Norwegian to get this one done on the inside into turn 3. But Maisha seems to be struggling a little bit through turn 3, and he does just drop behind Rasmussen then in 5th position ahead of Marteau, both past Boberg now. And with these two fighting, it's only going to be a matter of time till they catch up. Negretti, championship leader in the Alps. He's right in this long train of cars, which really goes down from 3rd position all the way back to 14th position at the moment. Lots of cars congested in just a handful of seconds at the moment. Negretti trying to score some more valuable points. Rasmussen up another pace. Marteau trying to go straight with him, but he's going to be held up here and also misses the apex as well, so that is not good news there for Marteau. It was crucially 5 seconds off the lead. Now, if he had no cars ahead of him, I think he could catch up to the top 2 from here on in, but with the Muse car I have to make, it's going to be tricky, and a slowdown there for Rasmussen. Marteau tries to take advantage, and Marteau is round, and the 2-race winner so far tonight makes a mistake when trying to go for a double overtake, and he's going to almost make contact here with the driver coming out of the pit lane as well. But Marteau back on his way, but he's down to the outskirts of the top 20.
Also, Alexander Scaret went around at the same time as Marteau. You will see now. This is Marteau going around. And you see there in the back, for a second, there is... Then you are right, Marteau almost making contact with the car coming out of the pits. This is a situation we had, I think, in Silverstone a few years ago. We had a spin at the start, I think, and one of the cars almost got collected.
Oh! For Rasmussen! My goodness, man, he's rolling across on the raw hoop, hits the wall, and no further for Nicholas Rasmussen. Toes back to the pits. We might see him back out on track when he takes this fast fair, but that was spectacular. There was some net code. They may have made contact either way with the Crips Racing driver here. And let's see this one. Wow.
Incredible that he didn't get sent into the shadow realm, that he stayed in the track boundaries. In the meantime, bit of traffic here behind Larsen. They are certainly not pulling any punches. We see this in in nights where you have more than one race. The more you get deep into the night, the more the drivers take more chances. Of course, we are battle tested ourselves as that is also going for the move with the BSR series. You remember that was, and in those series you didn't have like race 1 after you had the break in between, so the tension really used to rise. But even still now, with the fact that you go straight back into racing at the same time, you never have time to rest apart the little bit between race 2 and race 3. So it is understandable that the drivers are a bit more aggressive, especially if they had a bad night. They want to maybe make up for it in race 3. Poor Rasmussen there, upside down. Thankfully landed the right side up, but he had to tow back to the pits, unfortunately. In the meantime, as we see Malishev defend on the inside, I see our leader is ahead, 0.6 of a second. But Malishev has really got a bit of cars behind him, and we'll see, because here comes George Zwine, the Canadian.
Goes, and that was a good move. Not easy to overtake into turn 1. Always easy to kind of drag out on the outside. Here is the battle for the race lead. Fournier on that last lap actually lost half a tenth of a second, but he did gain 3/10 at the start of this lap. Now that might just be slipstream, but I think it was probably a slight mistake there from Isaacson. Fournier is well in range, but they've done a good job of these two. I'm not sure if it's deliberate or not, but they haven't been battling too much, and it's allowed them to get away. Glamset are having an absolutely terrific meeting at the moment. Up there in third place, Boberg doing well as well, considering that actually Boberg's had to do quite a bit of defending to keep on to that position, but he's held his own. Now he's going to lose out to his fellow countryman Olsen. I think now this is where Boberg made big contact earlier on with Rasmussen. He's avoided big contact this time. Say Boberg is, apologies, Olsen is going to get past Larson as well. He's been a bit under the radar tonight. They're scoring very good points. Will also be able to move past. So that's now a very competitive 4th and 5th positions. Boberg with a good chance though, holding off Malishev, I think, to the end. That 6th place could be his.
As we are already at...
behind.
Oh, yeah, so, sorry about it, Sam. Yes, fight here with Malishev, Zwine and Negretti, as I was saying, already past the halfway mark. Oh, contact there!
Contact.
And I think Negretti hit the back of another competitor there who slowed down. We are going to be 3 wide. Here comes Marteau. Russell moves to the right. They all survive to tell the tale. And maybe Marteau can jump into P8 by the end of this straight, but certainly Russell won't be an easy customer for him as he's defending on the inside. Marteau has a little bit of extra pace around the outside and he makes it stick up into P8, but great fight here, especially because it is a fight for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th in the amateur class, even though Negretti, I think, is very damaged after that contact. Let's have a look at his front wing, by the way. Yes.
If this race was much longer than it is, he'd be coming into the pits because that front wing's probably not doing a whole lot for him. He'll be losing 3 or 4 seconds a lap now, but yeah, may as well just soldier around and see what happens. So Isaacson actually just extending that gap up a little bit now. It's back to 7/10. Fournier losing a little bit of time that last lap. Now he will gain... Wait, you see the timing tower there, he's not actually gaining any significant amounts, maybe a few thousands, but it kind of just shows that the drafts beyond maybe 5/10 in this car is very small. And so Fournier's got to do it on track and actually now, or through the corner, so. And now he's lost even more time through turn 2. So Isaacson seems to have the manage on this one. It seems to have the pace to hold back Fournier to the finish as Russell is just about ahead of Malishev. Russell up 15 places from his race start. Olsen, by the way, is up 23 places, which I believe might be a record in this series. I'm not 100% sure, but certainly for this season, that is a record for Tobias Olsen from right from the back, 27th place on the grid. I wasn't even sure if he was going to turn up for race 3, and he's up to 4th place and could even get 3rd place by the end, as there's a spin from Morris, who has not had a good meeting so far tonight, and he drops to 17th. Fortunately for him, Negretti's a further half minute back.
Yeah, so restarting his race is Morris. Unfortunate that spin there, as another driver who's had some issues, and he has been into the pits already to repair his damage, is Steven Westerhoff, so he went, grabbed that fast repair and he's out. And despite this, he's still knocking on the door of the, well, already in the top 15, top 10 is going to be very difficult, of course. You didn't see what happened there at the start. Probably either got touched as he gets the fastest lap of the race and sent into the wall, or he hit the wall to avoid some drama in front of him. Whatever the case, Westerhoff up into P14 right now, one of the fastest, right now the fastest car on the racetrack. In the front of the field is still Isaacson, and he's still gaining a bit lap after lap, and it's now almost a 1 second gap. Stellar job from Glamsetter in 3rd, leading the AMS with 2 cars between himself and Boberg, his teammate. So looking very good for an amateur win, and more importantly, I would say, Sam, for Glamsetter, a very nice all of points with a 3rd place overall, if things hold.
Yeah, and Glamsetter headed into this round 2nd place in the Amateur Championship. And this has really been the first round, I think, this season when Negretti hasn't had a monopoly on that first position when it comes to pace, at least. Negretti has made a fair few mistakes so far this season, and a bit of misfortune as well. He's always been the fastest driver. I think qualifying indicated that maybe Glamsetter and Smith had the pace to really threaten Negretti tonight, and Glamsetter has been able to show that in this race 3. So yeah, could be the championship lead after this round for the rookie, actually, in this series, as far as I'm aware. Quick shout out as well to Virtual Racing School for also sponsoring the series. 50 data packs available from Virtual Racing School, and those cover cars on the oval side of things, the road side of things, also dirt oval, rallycross, I believe, as well. So much stuff covered by Virtual Racing School, including this Dallara F3 for that matter, actually, and those include some fantastic data analysis software. It really does enable you to find some more pace as Zuayen with going from defense to attack there. That's the definition of that, because he broke late and he managed to get past Boberg, and Matteo also going with him. But yeah, Virtual Racing School also with yeah, sets up track guides, data analysis software, one-on-one coaching as well for some of the best drivers in all of iRacing. So big thanks to them. And of course, if you want to get better on iRacing, to visit Virtual Racing School, there is a link to them in the description below. As Matteo doing really well, actually, I think, Marco, considering. I mean, I think that's probably his biggest mistake this season, that spin. And I mean, even that was very understandable. So just shows the consistency that he's got. And, well, he might even get 6th position out of this one, 2 firsts and a 6th, but still mean he's the highest point scorer tonight.
Absolutely agree with you. I don't recall any significant mistake apart from this, and, you know, once in a while it is human to make errors, and as you were saying, he's still getting a very good race 3 finish out of it. He could very well be in the top 6, even though the Canadian Swine is certainly not going to let him pass easily, as we are heading into the final lap of the race that will start the next time Isaacsen crosses the start finish line. Here comes Marteau on the inside. Aggressive there, almost banging wheels, but in the end he has the better line. Now he needs to cover the possible counter-attack. He does, and up into 6th place. Smart driving by both of them, no need to risk. Maybe Zwine knows Marteau is a bit quicker, therefore he fought hard, but he didn't do anything stupid. And here comes the leader, and he gets the white flag from our friend Barney. You can see this lap, marginal gain from Fournier. He's there, 7/10 of a second. Time, of course, is not that big of a gain of an advantage, but we know that if he doesn't make any kind of mistake. Oh, Marteau made a mistake, by the way. Maybe a slowdown.
Slow down, yeah, I think so. And he's given that position back to Zoyan fairly easy. It was a very weird one with Isaacsen and Fournier, because you know, the gap's been under a second for the entire race, and yet we're speaking very calmly about it, because it doesn't have the feel of it that, you know, Fournier can really get any closer, and whenever he's kind of tuned in, it seems like Isaacsen is pulling away, and he is certainly pulling away now, because I think Fournier may have picked up a slowdown by running wide through turn 1, and the gap up to 1.6 seconds now. So bad news for him. Olsen's not going to quite catch up to Glamset. The gap's going to be down to half a second at the line, I think. I think this is the only battle which might change round. Zoyan should have confidence in himself. He's one of the fastest drivers out there, is Georgie. He should have the confidence to hold off Marteau, and he's currently got 0.4 of a second advantage, so should be all right. But out in the lead, Niels Erik Isaacsen for IGL Coatings E-Racing. He took 2nd place on the grid, and we knew that it was going to be him versus Fournier for this race win. And Isaacsen has driven absolutely faultlessly, great pace as well, and he takes the race 3 win here at Red Bull Ring. Great performance there from the Norwegian. Glamset top of the amateurs, and I think that might be the first amateur podium that we've had all season, and boy did he deserve it. Great drive to 3rd. Olsen up 24 places to 4th. Zuayen was able to hold off Marteau in the end. He'll be annoyed that he picked up that slowdown. Westerhoff, we've seen a few crashes at the penultimate corner. That is a terrific move save there from Westerhoff to swoop round the outside, get an epic line into the final corner, and he keeps 13th place. That was a real nice way to finish the race. And in fact, you can see from this that he wasn't close beforehand, Marco.
Yeah, he made a mistake.
From
Pennington. There we go.
Oh, sorry, mistake from
Westerhoff, yes, and then he came back on the track, lost a couple of spots, was able to make it up with a... Let's watch it from the chopper, will give us a better idea, because this was a very brave move coming into the final portion of the racetrack, and he was able to be a bit more, to be very, getting the off track there, of course. I don't think he cares in the end. And that was it for tonight's action, and it was an exciting night of action that went by, let me tell you, incredibly quickly. Let's have the results on the screen for race number 3. There we go.
Yeah, it was Isaacson at the top, 1.1 seconds clear of Fournier in the end. Glamsetter with a brilliant 3rd place up there, really great to see. Crips Racing near the front, then it was Tobias Olsen, Kettle Larsen, under the radar, but good points haul for Kettle. I think that he was the 2nd highest scorer tonight. Then it was Georgi Zuroyan, Kai Tiago Marto, definitely the highest point scorer. Mistake in that race 3. Wasn't going to win anyway. I think he may have got a podium if it weren't for that, but still a really good evening of racing for him in the 1-2-2. Then it was Ricard Boberg, making it a good day for Crips Racing, 1-2 in the amateur category. In the amateur category. I think I just repeated myself about 3 times there. Philip Russell and Kostas Manishev running at the top 10. Good drive from Russell there, and good 3 races actually from him. Aidan Howard had a brilliant start for Reinars Motorsport. Ended up 11th place, but that was still pretty good for him. Alexander Skoret managed to overtake Stephen Westerhoff on the last lap. Westerhoff at least was able to hold back Pennington with a very good move. Ingo Schnell was in 15th position. There's Andreas Helgerud, Andrew Morris, Chuck Mauro was in 18th. Then it was Nicholas Rasmussen, who had a very frustrating race 2 and race 3. Kumbrali Chani had a crash at the start, and all these drivers 1 lap down. Credit to them for getting back out on circuit and scoring points. Roggenbuck was in 21st. Negretti needed the points. I don't believe he's the championship leader anymore in the amateur category. So disappointing there for Justin. He's going to have to work hard in the final few meetings of the season. Florian Beer was the last driver to score points. Sean Barnett will not. Mats Jestrenbacken was in 25th place, and Riley and Smith were the 2 other drivers who were not able to finish that race 3 of the evening. So this is the time in the broadcast where you should get some interviews. I scroll down frantically, and I'm very relieved because we have got some interviews with some drivers. And well, we've got a few amateur drivers to have a chat with. So I think first I'm going to have a talk with Philip Russell, because he had a pretty good round of results actually, did Russell, getting some top 5s in the amateur categories. Yeah, congratulations Philip, that race 3 in particular, really good. I'm now just looking at your finishes in the end, 14th, 24th, so it wasn't a great race 2, but 9th place in race 3 was a very nice way to cap it all off.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mixed bag today. Race 1, I think I finished 3rd in class, but yeah, I just really struggled. I mean, everyone seemed to just have the slipstream, and it was just a hard task to keep everyone off your back. But yeah, race 2 I had a good start. I think I was leading the AM, and then I got a bit of a tag from Justin Negretti, which spun me around, and I had some rear end damage, which was losing me about a second a lap. So I'm not too sure if he had any damage, but it looked like he finished 7th, so I doubt he did. But and then I got disconnected, but I crossed the line, so I'm not too sure where I finished. But obviously it made me start 24th in race 3. So but yeah, a great fight back to 9th in race 3, which I was happy with, and take an AM podium there. So yeah, good day all in all.
Definitely. We're just watching your start actually in race 3, and
yeah,
you made a brilliant decision. You're like, first corner, nah, I'm going on. I'm going to use the old wing circuit or whatever it used to be.
Yeah.
Was that something that you were planning before the start, or did you see 2 cars on your inside heading into turn where you thought, nah, I'm not having that?
I was heading up to turn 1, and I saw a car like jump in the air, and I thought that's going to be a bit of bit of carnage there, so I kind of drifted off to the left. It wasn't intentional, but it kind of worked out in my favour. I didn't get collected by anyone. Although when I came back on, someone did squeeze me towards the wall, so I had to back off a little bit. But yeah, it wasn't an intentional move, but I will take it as I had a bit of bad luck in race 2, so it's one of those things.
In the championship, you headed into this round in 3rd position, I believe. After this round, I don't think it would be too far off because Negretti didn't have the best meeting in the world. You maybe lost a few points to Glamsetter. But heading into the final 3 meetings of the season, how do you rate your chances at perhaps clinching that amateur title?
It's going to be a hard task. I think they've got to, well, coming into the championship, I think it was about 30 points to Justin. Again, I don't know how it swayed after this race. I think Christian's probably taken the lead back again after that strong result there. But I'll give it a good go. Spa next week, and then I'm not too sure what the last 2 races are. But yeah, it's going to be a fun couple of rounds towards the end, and then I'm going to give it my all and see what happens. And hopefully I can be within striking distance by the end of the season.
For sure. And anyone who hasn't watched the F1 so far today, you can maybe just mute us for the next minute or so. But your surname is Russell. You got a connection to George at all, and so were you quite pleased when he crossed the line to take that good qualifying?
Unfortunately, not a direct relation, but probably somewhere down the line. But yeah, not a direct one. But yeah, very pleased for George. A great result for him and Williams. And yeah, let's see what the race does tomorrow. Hopefully he can get a good set of points again like he did last race. So yeah, good on him.
I think we had another driver in this series, or maybe it was another series, and they were saying that they were the cousin to Kimi Räikkönen, which I think they'll just finish, and people were just totally making stuff up on the chat. So we might just say that you're related to George Russell.
Yeah, definitely related. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it makes our job in the commentary box a lot easier to occasionally name drop that one. So before we let you go, Philip, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first of all, obviously you guys, thank you for organising this event. It's a great championship and really enjoying the championship, great drivers, etc. And obviously my team Fordzilla, it's been a bit of a mixed bag this season, but it's nice to come away with a few good results here and there. And yeah, thanks for their support.
Awesome, thanks for having a chat with us, Philip, and best of luck to your brother tomorrow.
Yeah, cheers, catch you later.
Philip Russell there, brother of George Russell, finishing in 14th, 24th and 9th positions, but that 24th crucially only 2 laps down, so he does score points. Marco, who would you like to talk to now?
Let's have a chat with our race 3 winner, Nils Erik Isaksen, who should be with us. Hello Nils, how you doing?
Hi, very good.
Yeah, I can imagine, of course, if you had to pick one race to win, of course it's the 3rd race of the night, so nothing can go wrong after that, no? You go home happy.
Yeah, I got a little bit lucky, what can I say, in the race 2, or unlucky, I don't know. I jumped the start.
Yeah, tell us about your evening. It's been very up and down, again finishing on a high. Tell us about how your evening developed.
Yeah, I was a bit tired today, so I didn't have the pace that I had earlier in the week, so I was just trying to take it easy. And sometimes that helps, just to take it easy and don't have any expectations. Yeah, and the first race was okay, the second race was not too good because of the jump start, but I recovered well, and then the last race was very good.
In that last race, the gap between yourself and Alex didn't really grow too much. It was always around half a second to 1 second, but he never seemed in a position to be able to attack you, especially the draft. It wasn't really working in his favor at all. He was closing the gap a bit, but nearly not enough to come close to you. How do you explain this? Why were you? How and why were you so quick on the straight?
No, it's I think it was the setup. I had the low downforce, so the car was almost impossible to drive the 2 first laps. But after that, when the tires get warm, it's easier to drive in the race with low downforce. because then you don't get attacked all the time. But I think it's faster with more if you just drive for yourself with more downforce here.
Well, it was certainly a nice way to round up your evening with a very, very nice victory to end the proceedings. Next week we will be at Silverstone and we will go back to the A format, so the 2 races. What are your hopes and expectations for the race in Silverstone?
Yeah, well, I cannot start, so I don't have any expectations. I have a cabin trip with some friends, so that's how it is.
Well, I have to tell you, I would gladly join you. So, enjoy your vacation then, and before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I would like to thank my teammates. I think we had a good day today as well. We have to see in the point standing, but I think it was okay. And I also want to thank you guys for hosting a good event. And yeah, that's it, I think.
Awesome.
Maybe my wife.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Niels, and enjoy your the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Man, I really think I will be busy for next Saturday. You know, this cabin trip seems like very exciting proposition, especially because I don't like Silverstone, right, Sam? I know that.
Well, you've made that very clear. So yeah, maybe I want you to go to the cabin.
I can use this as an excuse, but I was born on the 9th of April, but due to a mistake in my registration in my first year of high school, for the Italian school system, my birthday is the 4th of September, which is of course next Saturday, so I can say that is my birthday and I will not show the race. But no, unfortunately, I love being here. I hate Silverstone, but I like your company too much, Sam. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for that.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that. We have got time for maybe 1 or 2 more interviews. Certainly, I would like to have a chat with Kittel Larsen, who joins us now in the commentary box. Congratulations there, Kittel. I kind of feel like tonight's evening a bit of the epitome of your season, a bit under the radar, but getting in some real strong finishes. 3 top fives tonight, so congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Had a good weekend, I think. I stayed out of trouble once again and had decent pace, not the best one, but I could lose the guys behind me, almost hang on to the guys in front, so 2 third places and a 5th. I'm happy. It's a good weekend.
Seemed like a lot happened on the race 3 start. There seemed to be lots of incidents. How was it from your perspective?
Oh, for sure I was sure I will be taken out in turn 1, because I saw in my mirror there's some guy really fast. I don't know what happened, if he locked up or what he did. I don't know, but I was lucky to avoid him. So my teammate wasn't that lucky, so then I could just concentrate and look ahead and do my thing and pick up some places and score some good points. I think I'm doing well in the championship standings now, so I was thinking a little bit about the points today and not pushing too hard.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense to rake in those points as you did tonight. We've got Silverstone next up. What's your thoughts on that circuit?
Circuit, I like it. So I think I can do decent at that place as well. So a little bit more practice and I'm there, I think. I have many laps at that track, so I think I should do good there as well. And if I can find the pace to Marteau and Olsson, it will be good. That will be good fun, I think.
Definitely. Yeah, we certainly hope to see you guys battling it out at the front, and of course, yeah, hopefully you can put up a good challenge for that title win as well. Before we let you go, Ketzel, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Of course, my girlfriend and my family let me do this thing I love so much. So, and of course, my team, EGL Coatings. We are a great team, work together, push each other really hard so we can get the pace we need. So without them, I wouldn't be here. So
awesome.
Thanks to them.
Yeah, thanks for having a chat with us, Ketzel, and yeah, best of luck next week.
Thank you.
That was Ketzel Larsen there, finishing, like I said, in the top 5 in all the races, a third, and a 5th, I believe. So really good effort there from him. And well, I was just trying to update the points. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to have time to add the drop score in. But without the drop score, at least, Amate still with the lead, and yeah, Larsen in 2nd, Olsen in 3rd. So yeah, should be a good final few rounds of the championship coming up. Once again, big shout out to Virtual Racing School, to SDK Gaming, and to Apex Racing Academy for sponsoring this broadcast on Apex Racing TV. If you've enjoyed this broadcast, please leave a like on it. It means that you're going to be recommended more of our videos in the future. Also, I think blesses us on the YouTube algorithm, so we get a bit more publicity. So we super appreciate if you could leave a like, and also remember to subscribe as well, so you can see all of our future broadcasts. We have got, of course, plenty more rounds of this, 3 more meetings of this series. We've also got IGP Fun, which is in the F3 cars as well on Sundays. We've also got the Norwegian Sector League as well on Thursday. So F3 cars are more than covered on Apex Racing TV. There's so much more happening though. We've got a new Radical series on Wednesday. We've got Rallycross as well on Wednesday. We've got NASCAR on Thursday. We've got Dirt Ovals actually, I think, on Monday nights for Europeans, Monday evenings for Americans, and a whole lot in between as well. So what was that, Marco?
Dirt Oval is on Sunday night. The last round is this Sunday night, Sunday morning for us in Europe, Sunday evening for the US. And then the championship, I think, will switch to the NASCAR Cup cars, and then they will finish with the Stadium Super Trucks. So,
wow. Okay.
And we have a super secret project on Monday nights, American Monday nights, and European Tuesday mornings. Super secret project. We hope to have you to let you know what it is very, very soon.
I think I know what that is, and if it is what I think it is, it's very cool. So yeah, do keep your eyes peeled on that. And of course, that will probably be announced on Apex Racing TV's social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So if you go follow us on those pages, you can find out what that announcement is, along with everything else that's happening on Apex Racing TV. But for now, for myself, Sam Fitzpatrick, and for Marco Barbanir, it is a 2-race win then for Kai Thiago Mate, who has the lead of the championship with 3 meetings remaining. We'll see you back next week at Silverstone for round 6 of the championship. See you then.